All right, what's good? How y'all doing this evening? Welcome back to the Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. Rivalry Week. We're previewing the UGA and Mississippi State game. How y'all doing this evening?
What's up, man? Good. I'm good, man. Ready to see what Taylor's got to say. Jump in, talk some college football, man. It's been kind of quiet. Good to see Georgia playing again. I'm excited for the weekend.
Exactly. And yes, we got a special guest on, expert Mississippi State writer, content creator Taylor Jones. What's good with you? How you doing? Let everybody know who you are, where they can find you.
Hey, I'm doing well, guys. Just happy to have Bulldog football back. I know you guys are too. It's been a couple of weeks for both of us. But you can find us on social media. My personal account is at Taylor Jones with 2 underscores at the end. Our podcast Twitter and Instagram account is Locked On Miss State. That's at Locked On MISSST. We put out a podcast every day, and we've been previewing the game all week and finally ready to put hay in the barn and get this thing played on Saturday.
Now, you said something about Bulldog football. Now, look, there's only one Bulldog football in the SEC. You know that, right?
Yeah, trust me, I know. I was born in Georgia, grew up just over the Georgia line in Alabama. So there's a DOG and then a DAWG. So we'll let you guys have the dogs, and we'll be the dogs, if you will.
All right.
Hey, okay.
Hey, he's a fellow LaGrange person. He said he's from LaGrange.
Oh, yeah? You from LaGrange, Georgia?
I was, born in LaGrange, and LaGrange, Georgia. I live in Randolph County, Alabama right now. Mm-hmm.
Wow, man. I'm born and raised in LaGrange. I still live in LaGrange, man.
Good deal.
Small world.
I'm sure we probably know a ton of the same people.
Yeah, being in Troop County, Trap County as you call it, yeah, you probably do.
Yeah, Trap County, that's it.
Well,
All right. So what's the news for the in college sports?
yeah, so pretty quiet, to be honest. A couple of the bigger schools had some news on the front. I don't think anybody missed the news of Kirby. Not fully committing, but pretty much going out there saying that JT is going to get the start. Don, what do you think, man? A week too late? Why does he not start against Florida? What are we doing?
Man, look, there's something that we don't know as far as his medical report, man. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword Kirby's on right now, starting him now, because say he comes out hot. No offense against Mississippi State, but say he comes out hot. It's going to be one of those, why have you been playing him? Has he truly been, is it health? Is it conditioning? Is it getting the playbook? The reps with the first team now? But big news, though, again, Kirby continues to be a 5-star recruiting machine, man. Smell Mondon, he's out of Paulding County. He committed to UGA this week. He's a 5-star linebacker. Going to make some noise probably coming in his freshman year. So, again, a 3-2 Georgia team, don't matter, right? Kirby's spitting something good. So, it's a big recruit. They were fighting hard with Tennessee and Auburn, pulled away with that one. So, shout out to Kirby for landing that. And he also hinted, for those of you that really care at all about the jersey, I don't think it matters in the game, but he hinted at maybe possibly doing the alternate jersey, which would be the black, assuming that Mississippi State does go with their maroon colors. So hopefully it won't be addressing to their own funeral, right? So, but yeah, they might be. Don knows all about the black jerseys, the history. So
yeah, I never.
But another news, Georgia Tech, man, another week that COVID has just knocked them down. Not their fault. Miami's had some rampant cases, kind of step up and shut that program down right now. So another silent week for Georgia Tech, unfortunately. They did have a QB enter the transfer portal. So James Graham, who was the backup, was not just a nobody. So, number one goes down, they're going to be scratching their heads. He appeared in 11 games last year, but he's only gotten into one, obviously, this year as he lost his starting job. And he's a former 4-star recruit and was a part of that 2018 class. that they put together up there. So might not sound like big news, but I mean they'll be scratching their heads, getting that third string ready for backup duty now. But other than that, I was quiet on the Hail Southern and Georgia State end.
All right. Speaking of Georgia Southern and Georgia State, we will be covering that rivalry game, in-state rivalry game, this upcoming Tuesday. So that'll be an early, Thanksgiving holiday episode. We ain't doing no show on Thursday because I'm gonna be laid out somewhere like with a belly full. Who you telling? I'm telling you. But hey, if y'all new to the channel, y'all already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Also hit that like button. Share this content out with Atlanta sports fanatics and hit us up in the comments section. As always, come holla at your hometown sports podcast. All right. So the scores for this past week: App State beat Georgia State 17-14. You had Georgia Southern. They beat the brakes out of Texas State 40-13. And we know the big schools in the state, UGA and Tech, they was on bye. Well, Tech had to cancel that game against Pitt because of COVID. So, all right, upcoming games. Georgia State will play South Alabama this Saturday at 4 p.m. That game will be broadcasting on ESPNU. Georgia Southern, they go up to West Point and play Army, and that game is at noon on CBS. And then you have UGA versus Mississippi State at 7:30 p.m. That's a night game. And that game is going to come on either CBS or the SEC network, whichever region you are living in. So let's talk about this. We talked about this earlier. JT Daniels is going to start this Saturday. How you think he's going to favor against Mississippi State? Now, we know Mississippi State right now, their defense is not looking that good, but it's his first start with the Bulldogs, so anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look for them to make him do too much. I think they're going to give Zeus the ball, pound it, let that offensive line kind of dominate in the trenches, set up some small slants here and there. I don't expect them to honestly ask him to do too much. Just to your credit, I think that Trent's game's too strong for UGA, and Zeus is probably going to have a pretty big game. So if JT just all he's got to do is manage the game, right? So we say be a manager of the game, and that's what I expect him to do. Don't make mistakes to give the other team an opportunity to get back in the ball game. We saw Mailman kind of start few of those mistakes, and that was his calling card, right? I know he has a joint issue, but Kirby had to pull him to the side and say, look, we got to make a change. And I mean, it's not just the injury, but just making plays that you're just, what are you doing? Who are you throwing the ball to? You're just throwing it up and away. So I don't really expect him to ask much of JT. Just manage the game and don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, that's pretty much. What's your take, Taylor?
It'll be very interesting to see how JT Daniels does, it being his first start. Mississippi State's got some quarterback issues as well. Not really some issues, but just figuring out who the guy is week in and week out. We've seen KJ Costello throw for over 600 yards, but he's battled some injuries, hasn't really shown signs of getting back to 600 yards since then. And then you've got Will Rogers, who knows the system in and out. He went to the same high school that Gardner Minshew did. He's quarterback at Jacksonville now and was quarterback for Coach Leach at Washington State. And that was the same high school he went to, same system he went into. But he's a true freshman. And that's really the big difference for Mississippi State heading in to that, too, is they've got their own backfield that's full of youth as well. Coming into the year, that was something that the defensive coordinators and all were talking about earlier this week was you have a graduate transfer at quarterback, KJ Costello from Stanford. You have probably one of the best backs in the SEC in Kylan Hill. KJ Costello battling injuries. Kylan Hill is elected to opt out, and now you've basically got freshmen running the show in the backfield. Mixing that in with the two quarterbacks going at it and seeing how the young running backs do in a tough stadium such as Sanford Stadium. I've been there before. It's pretty loud. I know it's not going to be the place that we all know and love because of COVID and crowd restrictions and all, but it's still going to be a rocking place, and it's just going to be interesting to see how those freshmen go up against JT Daniels, a guy that's also getting his first start in front of Sanford Stadium as well. That's going to be an atmosphere that I'm sure he's never played in as well.
Yeah, you got two former Pac-12 quarterbacks going at each other this weekend. That's weird.
It's unique.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right. So Mississippi State right now, y'all got 2 wins for the season. And this Leach first year. We know that first game that y'all played against LSU, and we man, and Mississippi State might do some things this season. And it just been downhill since then, man. Explain to everybody what's going on in Starkville.
Yeah, that first game, it was pretty big for State. Of course, when you get a win over the defending national champions, in the very first game, it's always big. But it's one of those things that, we were studying that game, and the more players opted out, the more that we studied about who they lost going into the NFL draft. Of course, the Heisman Trophy winner Joey Burrow being one of those guys. You kind of can't help but think to yourself, okay, it's going to be a little interesting for LSU. We really don't know much about him, and that was what all the coaches were talking about. That's what Coach Leach talked about leading up to that. Is we're going to try to prepare for him, but we don't know who's going to be out on the field when you've got at least a third of them that's playing in the NFL right now. And it turns out that LSU was very young, and that was a welcoming party for KJ Costello. Things worked out well, but that was one of the questions that I was asked from a handful of people after that game was, is this something we can expect to see week in and week out? And with Coach Leach, he coached in the Big 12, and of course you can throw for 600 yards a game and still get beat by 40 points. Pac-12, it's, the threshold's not quite as big, but I don't know how long it's going to take, but SEC defenses are really good at reading film, and they're going to find a way to stop it. And then, of course, the Arkansas game next week, still a pretty good day passing for KJ Costello, but not the result that they needed. And it's just one of those things, too, that, as you guys know in the SEC, you talked about your running backs at the beginning of the show. You definitely need to have a pretty good running game in order to be successful in this league. And Mississippi State has not been able to find that just yet. We talked about Kylan Hill. A lot of his yardage before he elected to opt out was coming from the air, actually. He had over 200 yards catching with under 100 yards rushing, which is, one of the, premier backs in the Southeastern Conference coming back in. You want to actually be on the other end of that, if not more. And then you've got 2 freshman backs that are, pretty much done the same thing. They've gotten some carries, but for the most part, we're seeing, under 50 yards rushing a game when they're throwing for, 250, 300 yards a game. So just kind of finding that identity and really allowing Coach Leach to get used to being in the SEC again, because the last time he was in the SEC, he was with Kentucky back in the late 90s with Hal Mumme, and things have changed a lot since then. But I think things are on the rise. We've had some issues with players electing to opt out or leaving the team for whatever reason. And, the players that want to stay are trying to find ways to be positive in this system and in this situation. So, what rest of this year going to bring, I don't really know. But I think it's just all going to be about finding an identity. And I think once we can figure out how to win those games by doing something differently and trying to attack defenses in a different way, you're really going to see really start seeing Mississippi State succeed.
Yeah, I think. Is it as simple? I mean, they just the teams are just dropping 8 in coverage, right? I mean, I know that Leach has seen it.
Yeah,
a lot of these receivers probably haven't, right? So it seems to me that they need to. I don't know if they need to practice that more, but the receivers need to improvise more. So when, Costello, or whoever it is, or Ward that's out there, that they need to improvise and try to find time to get open, because if you don't establish a run game when they drop an 8 in the back, in coverage, then I don't really see that air raid attack being successful at all. If LSU would have made that halftime adjustment, I honestly think LSU wins that game. So what do you attest to that? I mean, is that just coaching? Is that Leach now really seeing, the adjustments he needs to make versus the defenses, or is it a little bit of both? Receivers getting a run game started.
It's actually one of those things that I think, in a couple of years we'll really start to figure out, because you have these guys that a lot of these guys were Dan Mullen's recruits. Actually, Dan Mullen hasn't been that long since he left Mississippi State, and Joe Moorhead was there for a couple of years. And then, of course, Coach Leach being here now, like the true freshman quarterback we have right now, he committed right after Dan Mullen left. So it doesn't seem like it's been that long ago, but it actually has. And the one thing that Coach Leach says about the air raid system is he says that it's not about setting up the defense for something. It's not, okay, we're going to run it here for a couple of plays and see what happens. And then once the defense, we kind of lull them to sleep, if you will, we're going to hit them over the middle. It's what are they giving you right this second? And with Coach Leach's system, he's been doing this for years, seeing how Mummy created the system back in the 90s down at old Valdosta State down in South Georgia. And that's something that they've worked on. It's a craft that they've worked on for years. But when you've got teams that are used to not throwing as much, you've got a team that's used to running the football and offensive linemen that aren't quite used to being in that system too. It's going to take just a little bit more time to get used to, but it's, a good point that you brought up. That's how the air raid system works, is because you take what the defense gives you at that particular moment, and you've got to adjust just like that. And that's what makes the air raid such a thorn in so many people's side. And once you figure it out, then, you figure it out.
Right.
All right. So let's get back to UGA side. Defense. Now, we thought that we was going to win in Jacksonville and against the Gators, and man, that was shocking. Now, look, I'm just saying.
That whole game was a mess, man.
It was. Stetson Bennett wasn't playing well. He wasn't playing well. Yeah. But Florida won, though. So that right there, like, Florida got to, like, only thing Florida has to do now is just win the rest of their games, and they SEC East champions.
Yeah, I know. And that's why the JT Daniels I keep coming back to, man. That's why that just hurts. Like, you should play the best player if he's healthy in the biggest game of the year, and that was the biggest game of the year so far.
Yeah. But, hey, what can you do at this point?
Move on.
Move on, but the defense has to get better. I didn't think that Florida was going to hang 44 points on really the top defense in the nation.
They were so banged up and hurt, so it was –
yeah.
They were missing our – I think we might have lost Taylor as much as we lost our defense. But you still there, man?
I'm still here.
Think Taylor.
You talking about Taylor?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He went out. He'll be back.
But yeah, I expect a bounce back game. And that, again, that's nothing to say. I'm not trying to down on Mississippi State. I just think that that rush is going to be too much for Mississippi State's O-line to handle. I think they get whoever starts pretty easily. To be honest with you, they're too stout up front. I think we're too big, too fast. I think it's another, like I said, trench game that UGA should dominate easily.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but we'll see, man. I just don't know. Like, this should be an easy win, but with this team now banked up, and you got JT Daniels playing, you really don't know what you're going to get this Saturday.
They need to pound the rock, man. I mean, Zeus he still doesn't get enough credit, man. They need to pound the rock. Get back to, what's Georgia always been known for, right? To me,
the ball.
RBU. You know what I mean? Like, check it, every time. So get back to pounding the rock. Get back to your strength, lean on your line. Get out in the flats. They, like I said, they're going to take their shots, but I think we'll see early what the game plan is. Probably a nice few safe throws for JT, just some dump offs, maybe a couple screens, just to get him in the flow of things, get back to game speed. Because you can't coach or you can't really practice SEC speed, and that's something that JT has yet to see. Even if it is Mississippi State, he still hasn't seen that yet. So
That's what I said, man. He could be in for a rude awakening,
man.
But you
hey,
know,
that's why you play the game. I mean,
yeah. But yeah, like I said, man, you know, at this point, I'm just waiting for Brock to come in and
well, you got
next year, man.
That guy's bringing in recruits with him too, man. I ain't even telling you. Woo! I mean,
but I've been trying to tell people, they folks, I said, y'all don't know how that boy gonna be. I'm like, he's gonna be the best. I'm telling y'all, he's gonna be like the best quarterback that's gonna come out of UGA.
I know he's got an arm as good as Stafford's gonna be, and he's got size. He's got
and he can run.
Yeah, he's got quickness. He's very alert, very aware in the pocket. I like his presence. He doesn't get out too fast. You know, he doesn't. You know, he steps up in the pocket. That's what I'm saying. But if he needs to get out, he will. But you can't teach size, man. And that dude's got a cannon. So
like this is what I've been trying to tell people. If you don't know who Brock Vandegrift is,
well, you don't know college football.
Go look at tape of when Ben Roethlisberger was first playing when he played at Miami University. Not the Hurricanes, you know, the Miami and Ohio. Go look at how he played back then when he was young. He had healthy legs before the knee injuries and stuff. That's Brock Vandegrift right there. But he's just faster than Ben Roethlisberger.
I mean, I think he's like a 4.6 40. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, but how the way he throw the ball,
man,
I'm telling you, it's like Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, he's almost 6'3", 200. I mean, and he's going to get huge. You know what I'm saying? He's a baby.
Yeah.
He's got a chance to be something very special that Kirby's never had. That's for sure. Mark Richt had a few of them. Kirby's never had a stud at quarterback. Yeah. So
he hopefully he understands how to use them. You know.
Well, I guess sorry, I worded that wrong. I worded that totally wrong. We did have a stud. We did have Justin Fields. So we did have a stud. Hey, he popped back up. So Kirby did have a stud. So to your point, I really do hope that
hey, sorry about that, guys. I'm back now.
You good.
I want to start next year. I don't care, man. Because I know JT, you know, can come back for another year next year, but I want him to start. I want Brock to start. So I don't know.
But here's the thing, though. You got folks that sit here and uphold Kirby in his foolery. Like they saying, well, it's not Kirby. Y'all blaming Kirby for the quarterback situation. Like, it is his fault.
The head coach.
You playing the wrong person.
Who do you think was in that room saying, yo, mom and daddy, you know what? This guy needs to come to our school and play for us and this and this and this. Well, you know what? Put the kid on the field, man.
Like, I just don't understand. Like, sometimes you got to take – you have to hold coaches accountable. Eric Taylor.
All right.
I read your article.
All right. I try not to get too much in it, but I do follow. I like 247 Sports. I don't like this though. And this is a long way back. This is April. All right, so a lot has happened since April, right? The whole world's changed since April.
Man,
you could never guess who they compared Brock to. He's actually like as far as a quarterback in college right now. Who they compared him to?
In college right now?
Yeah. I couldn't make this up.
Trevor Lawrence. I can't see.
Bo Nix. Are you kidding me?
Who said that?
Wow.
Barton Simmons, the director. He's the director of scouting, man. I mean, that's got to be the muscled, physically mature quarterback. Is he? You sure you don't mean like? I don't know, bro. I know I need to take a picture of your face right now, man. Like, maybe he meant Bo somebody else. I don't know.
Bro, like, oh my God. They pay these people to make these dumb takes. Sign me up.
Bro, Bo Wallace, maybe he meant Bo Jackson, but like the quarterback just got it wrong.
Oh my goodness, man. We talking about Brock. We talking about Brock Vandegrift, the quarterback that's gonna be the recruit that we got to come to Georgia next year. They compared this man to Bo Nix.
Yeah. Mm.
Wow.
Man,
they gave us all the change.
Are they sure they're not talking about Bo Wallace?
Man, that's bad, bro.
That is, man. Oh my
Man,
goodness.
I hope he screenshot that. I hope he saw that. Man,
Look, screenshot it, send it to me. I need to know who the person is because I want all the smoke from him, man.
all right, I'll bring it. Maybe we can get him on the show.
Yes. I want all the smoke from this man.
He's projected to be a second and third round pick in the draft. Are you telling me Bo Nix is going to go second and third round?
Bo go just like no.
Hey, but I will give a shout out though to a nice freshman running back straight out of Callaway down here in LaGrange, Tank Bigsby. Yeah, baby, he's a good running back. So maybe they need to compare him to that with an arm. That was a joke.
Yeah, man, that's oh my goodness. All right. So Mississippi State hasn't won in Athens since 1956. That's before my mama was born. Man. I looked at them. I'm like, huh? Wow. Like, do y'all think y'all gonna do anything this Saturday to try to erase this bad, god awful? Yeah, this don't look good.
It would be nice, but I don't see it going that way, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all ain't won in Athens. Like, look, I understand, man. There's teams like Vanderbilt in the SEC. You got Arkansas, but Mississippi State, they had some good teams, back then, and then the past decade when y'all had Dak Prescott, so that's crazy. So let's go ahead and get to the predictions. Hey guys, if you're watching this at a later time, hey, hit us up in the comment section. Let us know your predictions for this game. Starting with our guest, what's your predictions for the game? How you think the game's gonna come out this Saturday?
I think it's going to be very interesting. You've got, really three inexperienced quarterbacks as far as playing in the SEC goes. Is KJ Costello going to play? Is Will Rogers going to play for Mississippi State? I don't really know. And you've got JT Daniels playing for Georgia. It's three question marks right there. I think it's going to be interesting in that regard. I think it's going to be a pretty good defensive game, but I think Georgia's athletes are probably going to get the most of Mississippi State, and I think they win that battle. I'm going to say 37-17 Georgia.
All right. Rick?
It's a game whenever you stand a chance. No offense. 35-9.
All right. Me, I'm going to say 35-10.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't see them putting 2 touchdowns on that defense, man. But, hey, where things have happened, we had
what happened in Florida.
Yeah, we said, exactly. We said.
See what happened to Florida. So I say 35-10 is going to be the score. 35 Georgia, 10 Mississippi State. So I know everybody tonight, they not watching because you got a big rival going on right now in the state right now. Gucci versus Jeezy. I will be watching that here in a minute.
Man, I don't even want to hear it. You better have Jeezy no matter what.
Man, you already know I rock with Jeezy.
All right, making sure.
I don't look only crackheads follow.
I'm just making sure,
Gucci,
man.
Only crackheads listen to Gucci. I don't.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. This is probably gonna get more. That'll probably get more viewers than the Thursday night football game.
Oh yeah. You already know it is, man. And then they got it live at Magic City too, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
they got the versus battle at Magic City. Taylor smiling. I know he know about Magic City. Taylor know about Magic City.
Whatever, man. Never. I gotta figure out how I know you.
All right, you guys. So, thanks for y'all. Whoever watched, thank y'all for watching live. Everybody else who gonna watch this later on tonight or tomorrow morning, hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what you think about the show. Let us know what you think about the game this Saturday. We will be back this Sunday to talk about the new first round draft pick for the Atlanta Hawks. I call him Double Big O. I can't say his name. We're gonna pretty much review that draft pick with you guys this Sunday evening. And then yes, me and Rick, we're gonna hang out Saturday afternoon, watch the Saints game together. You know, we may do a little live, Periscope live, you know, get out, you know.
That game is shaping up to be a good opportunity. That's all I'm gonna say.
Good opportunity for what?
For a W.
Man, I hope so.
Hey, we're gonna be W's.
I will put out my video tomorrow, my prediction. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow afternoon. Yeah. So, but hey, if you're new to the channel, y'all already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, also hit that like button, share this content out with Atlanta sports fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holla at your hometown sports podcast. This is the Don, my co-host Rick Fletch, guest host Taylor. Thank you for coming on again. Once again, let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Miss State, Locked On MISSST. You can follow me on my personal Twitter account at Taylor Jones with 2 underscores at the end.
All right. Once again, thank you for coming on, man. And everybody else,
wear a mask.
Yeah, wear your mask. Y'all take care. We'll see y'all Sunday. Tell them boys play time's up. Tell them put the house on me. They can put the house on me. Tell them put the house on me. Tell them boys play time's up. Tell them put the house on me. They can put the house on me. Tell them put the house on me. Tell them boys play time's up. Tell them put the house on me. They can put the house on me. Tell them put the house on me. Tell them boys play time's up. Tell them put the house on me. They can put the house on me. Tell them put the house on me. Tell them put the house on me.